Yeah, it's not bad. It's really not. You know what we're going to talk about today?
Public land hunting.
Public land hunting.
That's it.
Well, let's get after it.
All right.
Let's roll.
Let's do it.
All we're going to do is just sit here and shoot the bull. Everything's been recording. All those bad, dirty jokes you've been saying. We got it all.
I didn't realize that. So all the people I've been talking about and everything else.
It's just me and you today. We don't have a camera guy. We don't have anyone running audio. And so it's just me and you. So I had to
make it work.
Make it work, baby.
Yeah.
Make it work. So, no, go ahead and introduce yourself.
So the guys, people that don't know, my name's Mason Caldwell. 31 years old, father of 2 boys, and an avid outdoorsman. I do it all, so here to talk about anything and everything with Nolan. So
Yeah, you ain't nervous, are you?
no, man, you know I'd like to say that I'm not, but no, really, no, I'm not nervous. So
No.
if there's anything that I can talk about, it's probably deer hunting for sure. So.
Well, I know, and that's what I've always said. I think I even told you this one day, like many moons ago, because we don't talk every day.
Right.
But like when I tell you that if there's one person I get in a bind, like if I know there's one person that's going to drop everything in the world, and I have a lot of people on the roster that will do this for me, not because it's me, it's just I choose good friends.
Right.
And
right.
You're at the very tip top.
I appreciate it.
And so
you're at the top of my list too.
Well,
so.
don't call me if you're in trouble. that newborn's got your boy tired, son.
Jacqueline gonna say, "No, you're gonna have to go take care of this baby."
Yeah. Hey, do you know the dude Drewski? He's been on some podcast with Theo Vaughn. Have you seen that?
I've probably seen him then because I do like Theo.
Let me look him
Vaughn,
up.
so.
Hold up. You just I just realized I was like, you look and sound like Drewski.
Maybe I can. If
Let's
Drewski
see.
makes plenty of money, I want to be the next Drewski.
Oh, here we go. Come on, Wi-Fi. Drewski and Theo Vaughn.
I'm probably gonna know exactly who you're talking about.
Look.
Oh yeah, no. I don't know
Is that
anything
not-
about that. No, but have you seen the one where they're on that show and he's talking about he bought him a black Cat Williams.
Oh yeah, it was the Black Santa Claus.
It was a nutcracker.
Oh yeah, the Black Nutcracker.
He said that he bought I watched it today actually. But
yeah, they make Theo
Oh,
Vaughn
my
makes jokes that we
gosh.
can't make.
No, man, it was. Oh my gosh, I was crying at my desk at work today, laughing watching that.
Boss
that
man,
video.
don't be listening.
Yeah, boss man, don't be listening.
That's the thing though, that everybody laughs, like some good comedy like that.
Oh my
Because he don't
gosh.
mean anything by it. He's just trying to be funny.
No, but if me and you said that, you know.
Oh
it's-
yeah,
it's,
no.
you know.
This Spotted Dog podcast.
Yeah.
It's look, and we're making strides, but this thing will get shut down quickly,
Right,
son.
right,
It'll get
right.
shut down real quick. But yeah, so there's the introduction. Mason Caldwell. I wanted to bring you on just to talk about some public land hunting. Like you are just as normal of a dude when it comes to hunting. You don't have anything big and fancy, no big, huge truck, huge four-wheeler. You don't have all that stuff. Not because you can't get it.
Right.
You just choose to do just normal stuff, and which
Right.
is, I mean, that's honorable and that's respectful and that's perfectly fine. Year after year, you kill big deer on public land.
Yes. And typically that's all I hunt around the house. You
Yeah.
know, everything I hunt is basically public land.
Here in
I'm
Northeast Louisiana.
Northeast Louisiana, and I do branch out, hunt Arkansas, you know, in surrounding states, but most of my killing is between Northeast Louisiana and Arkansas.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. You know, I hunt with, you know, a real close-knit group, and that's basically my brother Tanner and John, you
Yeah.
know. Not to say that I won't hunt with anyone else,
Right.
but it's very.
Yeah.
I'm not spreading no information
Yeah,
except
for
with
sure.
with those 2 guys, and that's probably, you know, I'm probably on the inner circle of just who they share with as well.
Yeah.
But it's a lot, you know, a lot of you know how it is. It's a lot of work, time that goes into to doing that and being successful. And a lot of that is also luck as well. I'm not saying, you know.
I mean, a lot of it is luck.
Yeah.
The thing being at the right place at the right
Right.
time. That is a lot, but not when you kill a big deer year after year.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to, you know, I don't want to sound boastful.
No, yeah,
boastful,
you don't want to
right,
be. You don't be
you know,
super prideful.
But
Although it is
I was-
July. No,
I
it's
was-
June. Never mind. That was last month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was looking before I left the house just to look, and it's 17 that I have at the house that I've killed in the last 5 years. And I'm not saying they're all, you know, that range is from 105-inch deer to 140, you know. But I tell everybody, you know, I ain't got tired of shooting 110s yet.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're doing it with a bow.
Yeah,
like just
you know, half of them probably.
Yeah.
You know, I kill with a rifle, or maybe even a little more. But you know, I have killed several with a bow, or get on them, you know, with a bow, and then, you know how it is. You just because you see one doesn't mean you're gonna, you know, get that opportunity. Especially hunting some of the places I hunt. Them river bottoms are, you know, it's very humbling. You may see one 300 yards right here, and you know, you move over there, and it may be 250 yards. But you could have killed him if you'd have stayed in the same tree the next day.
Yeah.
You know, I know a deer John killed a couple years ago. I think John hunted this deer 6 or 7 days in a row, and had opportunities at him like 2 or 3 different times in those 6 or 7 days. And you would think, you know, a deer, and this was a, you know, it was a 4.5, 5-year-old deer. You know, he was a mature deer. Would get bumped, you know, is what I'm trying to say. But he never did. And he ended up killing him, like I said, I think on the 6th or 7th day. And that was a deer that, like I said, the way we were accessing it to get in there for him to hunt that deer, you would have thought that he would have ended up pushing that deer. But anyway, he lived right there, and he didn't go nowhere.
if you're careful and you work with the wind,
that's what
you
you know,
accomplish some things.
Right. That's the huge thing. I think that I think a lot of people, you know, they'll say, you know, if I really want to go in here and hunt today, it's just public land. You know, what happens if I blow this deer out? You know, to me, you know, playing the wind, and everybody says that, you know, scent control, play the wind, but that's really the biggest thing. Scent control, play the wind, and go when it's right to go.
Yeah.
You know, don't just be going to go. If you're trying to kill, if you know a big deer's there,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's hard. Like, you want to go out. Like, that's the thing. Like, the first day of season, it's like, man. And I think we even talked about this on this episode, or on clearly this episode, but this podcast before. But if it's raining or if it's smoking hot, and mosquitoes are terrible, and it's the first day of the season, I get we're all excited. But if you want to go out and you want to kill some does, that's fine. But if you have a big deer that you're hunting, dude, you may want to make sure your wind's good, because you're going to be sweating. You're going to be soaking wet by the time you get there. So no scent control is going to help you.
No, and that's the thing. If it's 90 degrees, and trust me, every day open day deer season, I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
going somewhere.
Right.
So I'm up there 90 degrees, pouring sweat, saying I'll never do this again, and I'm literally 2 hours after climbing down the tree, I'm back thinking about where am I going the next day, you know.
Yeah, but you can play it right though. Like, hey, I really want to go and I want to be out there, but I need a north wind to hunt this deer, and I have a south wind or whatever it is. It's just not right. Even if it's open today, I know you well enough. You're not going to go hunt that big deer, and like you're talking about going in with you and John, you're not going to go and risk it to go kill a deer early like that. Not when you have all of season. You're going to go get on a doe hole or something like that.
And typically I start in Felsenthal, where we're trying to shoot a doe, you know. So it's, and we've got, you know, I think between the 3 guys I named earlier, we all have spots that we consider just where we like to go try to shoot a doe. But all 3 of them spots, I think opening morning, we've all had 120-inch deer walk underneath us, and you'd be tempted, you know. And none of us has ever done it, but it is tempting. I can tell you, I can assure you that, you know. And you're trying to hunt, you know, where they're, you deem it a doe spot.
Yeah.
And used to, you know, you hunted up there some, but it ain't the same place it used to be. You know, 7, 8 to 10 years ago, you climbed just any tree up there, and you had a chance at, you know, 115-inch deer walking by you with the potential of, you know, bigger. Now it's, you got to hunt up there now.
Yeah, I think 2019 is the last time that I hunted up there, and hunted up there hard.
It was
so 5 years ago.
I actually blanked up there last year, which was the first time. I don't remember, but anyway, I didn't tag one. I should have. I did. I shot one. I just didn't recover, and I think I've told you the story on that.
Oh, you called me about bringing. Was that the same deer you called about bringing beans, or was that somebody else's deer?
It may have been. I don't know. We put axe on him, but it was like, which is John's dog. We put him on there, but it was midnight by the time we got it. Because he knew, it's a funny story, I'll go ahead and tell you. I was in a wedding in Texas, so that Saturday, which was the gun hunt, did the wedding, did the whole shebang. I got in the vehicle and drove straight home. Said, as soon as I get home, I'm getting out of the Escalade, into the truck. I went from one vehicle to the other, went to Felsenthal, and did all of that just to sit down at a tree and fall asleep. Daylight. But anyway, so I hunted that morning, and it was slow. And I went into a pretty easy spot, hoping I was going to hunt pressure that morning and let people try to funnel them, maybe funnel them to. And they did. I'd seen some deer, but it was nothing that I really wanted to shoot. So I got out, and I knew where I wanted to go that evening, right? I got that power nap. I was rejuvenated. So I made my hike and got in here, and actually seen a good deer on the way in. Elected to let him go. I got a pretty good look at him. But anyway, I got sit down, and you sit down at this, and there's a spot that I've hunted around that area, but I never hunted like that exact spot. I sat down, and I sat there for about 45 minutes, and I wasn't content with what, I was like, I just want to move a little bit, and anyway, so I picked up moving, and it's 1 o'clock in the evening, and I turned around, and I scared the heck out of one, and it scared the heck out of me too. I heard it, heard some commotion, and it was a buck chasing the doe. And anyway, I hollered, threw down, shot the deer, whatever, and he took off running. This is with a rifle, but he took off running, and he stopped again, and I call it the death twitch. He was twicking his tail or whatever. I was expecting him to fall over any minute. Well, I was trying to be on him, and anyway, he gave me enough time. I got my shooting rest, and I got back on him again, and he was hard quartered away. I got middle of the body, and I just got one off. I'm shooting a 7 mag. You get in one, they're supposed to die. So I went up there, and it was a decent sized amount of blood, but it was dark. I knew it was probably liver, and so I called John. I've called him probably 30 times. He didn't answer the phone. It was going straight to voicemail. He's got AT&T, and you get no signal up there. And I didn't know if he was hunting or not, though. I don't remember what John had going on. We weren't hunting together that day. We didn't go together anyway. But probably because of the wedding, honestly. But I called his wife. I was like, hey, look, I've tried to call John. I don't know what he's got going on, but I'm coming to get the dog. Like, for discussion, I'm coming to get Axe. I'm walking out of the woods, and somebody shoots, and bang, there blows my hat off, like. And he's never been to this spot. So I'm curious at what somebody shot. I'm thinking maybe I pushed the deer, maybe they shot my deer or whatever. And I'm walking, and anyway, I finally see the guy, and I seen the camo pattern first. And if you know John, you know who he is personally. So he wears them off the wall camo pattern. So anyway, I said, I know who that is. So he had shot one, and anyway, ended up having to trail his deer. We found his deer, and it took over an hour to find it, get it out, drag it out, all that. Anyway, like I said, by the time we got back up there, and like I said, the dude ain't even ever hunted here before. I don't know how we ended up at this same exact location, because he's never been there with me. But like I said, got back on it at midnight and ended up not finding the deer. The dog was running the deer, and we were we couldn't communicate by phone. And the deer actually had crossed in front of me, and I was trying to do the right thing, make sure it was the deer, it was a wounded deer, right? And he got behind a stump, a laid over log, and that was the last time I seen him. I was expecting him to come out, and he didn't. He got behind that log and went straight away from me. The whole time, John was shocking the dog because he thought he was running a live deer. And the dog the whole time was just coming to me,
Yeah.
So looking back, pretty sure Axe was on and it was a really good deer. Like, I don't want to just throw out numbers, but he was 130 plus inch deer, which around the house.
That's a big deer.
Yeah, I was wanting to get him bad, and I really thought I would. I still think I killed the deer. I went back, tried to find him, and I never. But you know how it is out there. It was surrounded by water too, so there's a good chance he went and got in water. And,
Man, them liver shots, they're tough.
They're tough, and if you don't, I forgot. I went. I tracked him about 180 yards, I know exactly how far I tracked him because I measured it, but immediately. But like I said, I kept thinking, I'm shooting a 7 mag, you know, and if he gets up again, I'm gonna get one in him, and it just didn't happen. Probably looking back on it, I may have pushed him and didn't know I pushed him because I went right, right afterwards, which is a rookie mistake. But you know,
but it don't matter how long you've been doing it.
You know, when you're shooting a bow, it's different. You know, and I probably would have thought differently. But like I said, that's the first one. I've been shooting that gun since I was 18. I got it for graduating high school. That's the first deer I've ever lost with it. So.
And it had to be a good one.
And it had to be a good one. Matter of fact, I called you right afterwards, and I was like, hey, does Spotted Dog have these bullets in stock? Because I'm not shooting what I just shot again. So.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That deer, 3 years ago now, up in Kansas, that one I killed, I mean, it's the same thing. It was like 38 yards, and I went and I was filming. Matter of fact, with that camera right there, I was filming, and I was in like a stump blind. And I had like the windows. It's made to rifle hunt with. It's not.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so like the windows are what, 10 inches wide, 8 inches wide, something like that. Like they're not very wide, and they are kind of tall, but they're like this and like that maybe. Well, I had the camera. You know, it has like every foot or so there's another pane, like there's another window. And so I saw this deer coming. Matter of fact, my father-in-law texted me, and he was like on the far south end of the property, and he said, "Shooter coming your way." And we had a few. It's
always a good text.
Oh, look, especially, let me tell you something. If there's one guy that will BS, it's your boy. If there's one guy that has no BS in his body, that's my father-in-law. I'm talking about none. So if he says something,
you better,
you almost trust him more than Jesus when it comes to if the shooter is coming your way. He don't text that he does not text that lightly. So he texts me and says, "Shooter coming your way," or "Shooter headed your way." Well, again, we're in Kansas, so I'm looking, way over back towards him, and like back this way. Well, I don't see anything, and I'm looking. Well, there's this little small tree line right here, and I looked down it, and I don't remember if he was walking with a doe. He may have been by himself. I think he was by himself. I got it on film. Matter of fact, I still need to finish that video. But he was walking towards me, and dude, I got nervous. I mean, because I knew what deer it was. I was like, the biggest deer I've ever killed in my life is like 135, 136-inch deer, which is a good deer.
It's a giant.
But I've never killed anything like this caliber. And dude, I'm telling you, it was ice cold up there, and your boy was sweating like. I was in a panic. Yeah. And so I went and I got the camera, moved the camera from this window to this window. That way I could see the deer coming. Well, then when he got right there in front of me, like 18 yards, I went ahead and I drew back. And like I was about to shoot him. I could have missed him, but I was 18 yards. So I drew back and I got on him, and I looked over and the camera wasn't on him. I was like, oh no.
It's the hardest thing.
Yep. And so I thought about it I remember the thought came to my mind. Do you shoot him with a camera, or do you shoot him with your bow off camera? I was like, this is the biggest deer of my life. I'm getting it on camera. And plus, it was like the second day of the hunt. We're going to be up there at the camp for like 3, 4, 5 days or whatever. So I eased down, and he was still right there in the food plot, probably 22, 23 yards at this time.
He was coming to feed.
Yeah, well, I'm hunting a big food plot. Yeah. And so anyhow, I grabbed the camera, and I move it to where I could see him right here, and he starts walking straight away, and I'm like, well, we had a water trough, and it looked like a stump too. It looks like a big the size of like 2 55-gallon drums wide, and probably like 3 or 4 foot, probably 3 foot tall, and has like little water spout, little trough that comes out, and you fill it up with water, and they could drink. And so I put the camera. I knew he was walking to the water, or figured he was. Sure enough, he did, and he got out there and like 38 yards. I drew back. I wasn't nervous anymore at all. I was good. I drew back, let that pin it was just floating right there where it needed to be. And I just pulled, and I don't know what happened. It was a bad shot. I shot too far back, and he was quartering just a touch, shot too far back, and liver shot. He ran out there 15, 20 yards, sat there, and like you're talking about, like you could look at a deer, and you know when they got, like it's a liver shot. And so he went over there and bedded down. I'm like, we're not going to rush him. Went back out that night and got on top of the stand and looked to see if I could see maybe his horns laying on the ground or whatever. Couldn't see him. Went back to the camp. Didn't sleep at all. Woke up the next morning. Matter of fact, my father-in-law left. Mr. Lamar left, headed back in for like a birthday party or something like that, and for one of his grandboys. So he came back into town, or he left, headed back into town, and I was up there by myself, just me and Beans. So I was like, let's go. So I grabbed my bow, and I was like, I know I'm not going to need it. Cody's either killed him or he's alive.
He's alive,
one or the other. And his blood everywhere. Like it was, I was shooting that Levi Morgan, the 2-blade swacker. It was freaking blood everywhere. It was stupid. Like, it was absolutely insane. Like, I could see the blood on the side of the water trough, all on the ground, everything from the stand. Plus, he ran his plum thickets, so it's just painted red. Like, I knew it wouldn't be hard, but I had my bird dog with me. Went out there, and I went 25 or 30 yards past where the feeder was, maybe 40 yards. Oh, not the feeder, the water trough thing. Past where the water trough was, probably 40 yards, 30 yards. And he started growling. Well, I had my Garmin on him because I was going to shock him if there's a coyote or something. And I go and I run through there really quick, and like I'm getting ready to draw my bow back, and he's sitting there chewing on the back leg of that son of a gun.
Awesome feeling.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Wasn't much left of him though. Coyotes did get into him.
You got the bone.
He ran.
You got the head.
Yeah,
anyway.
I got one of the back straps. I got one front shoulder, one ham, and half the neck. So the part laying on the ground, I got. The part laying up, I did not. But I mean, it did suck that you didn't get all that meat. But right. I was excited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He ran 30, 40 yards. There's no pressure, but.
Well, I'm big on that. You know, I've shot many of them midways back, gut shot them. And after it took me about 3 times of you know, you learn a lot when you're young, you know. Anyway, I'd leave them there for 2 or 3 hours, and then I'd go look for them, you know. If you'll leave one, if you'll shoot one, gut shot him, if you gut shot him, and you don't mess with him, I don't think they go more than 100, 150 yards, and they'll lay down. And if you'll leave them there, you come back the next day, you'll find that deer, and he'll be laying basically where he laid down at. But if you don't, you go after him, you're going to jump him up, he's going to clog up, and you ain't going to find him.
He's going to run on the other side of a fallen tree and never be seen again.
Yeah, exactly. That's my experience with it anyway.
That's hard to do.
It is hard to do. It's really hard to do when you've got buddies with good dogs too, you know. And then I don't know. I'm not saying I won't push one, you know, this year, but the smart thing to do is to do it that way.
Yeah. But we were talking about the e-bikes a while ago. You're talking about how like people are like in certain states, and like even Darbone. Last year they changed it where
I think they changed it because of you, didn't they?
me and Craig.
Yeah.
Literally, like that's not one of those funny things.
I know you told me this story.
There's no regulations out there. Like there was none, and so we just tried to do the right thing. I'm like, I'm not going out there to get a ticket. Like there's no. You said you could ride a bike, so like bicycles are allowed, but no like ATVs or anything. But it didn't say anything in there. Like I think it even said on there like golf carts, ATVs. UTVs, trucks, cars, like nothing like that.
Nothing about e-bikes.
Nothing about an electric bike, but you can ride a bicycle. So I called one of our game warden buddies, and I was like, hey, I know that you don't work this area, especially Darbone, like the wildlife refuge out there. And that's a national refuge, isn't it? Yeah. So I was like, I know that you don't work that, but do you know if you can ride e-bikes out there? He's like, I don't know. Let me call real quick. I was like, be careful who you call. I'm not trying to like get it shut down. I remember saying that. He's like, no, I'll call one of my buddies that works out there. He's like, he won't say anything. Yeah, he did. And so that guy called me, our other buddy, I'm not going to say his name, but he gave that game warden, who's a really cool guy. If you're listening, you're a great guy. You just messed it up for us all. So thanks a lot. I'm kidding. He's just doing his job. But he did say, though, that he went to a sergeant or whoever's over the whole Darbone refuge and told them that like we got guys that are trying to ride e-bikes out here, and so you can still ride them out there, but before you couldn't ride, or you could ride them anywhere. You could ride them to the base of your tree if you wanted to.
That's a game changer if you can do that.
Yeah, like we would go and we'd take our e-bikes in on the boat, and like you're talking about getting out away from everybody. Like you take your boat in, and so you're already away from everybody, and then you're going a quarter of a mile back in there. Dude, that's an easy hunt. Like, that's real easy. You can still take them out there. You just have to keep them on the maintained roads. Yeah. And so,
which is
still not complaining, still fine. But yeah, he
still kind of.
He did say that he's like, yeah. He said, you and your buddy, we certainly appreciate y'all bringing that to our attention.
Yeah. Way to go, Nolan. Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I know. I won't say anything. I'll just risk getting a ticket.
But I've seen it in several. You know, I hunt. If it's public land around here, I basically hunt it. And a lot of them have it in the pamphlet now, you know, no e-bikes, or, you know, which is whatever. I don't understand it. What you can ride a bicycle, why can't you ride an electric one? You know, if I got the money to go buy one, and that's something, like you said earlier, you know, I don't have much nice things. I'd have one if I could go wherever I wanted to go on one. Yeah. that's something I would invest in because
You just can't go wherever you want to go with them now.
Right,
Like,
and that's the only, holdback is to not get one. And actually, my dad you know my dad. He buys deals, and he I think like a year or two ago, and it's not the ones you see advertised. Spotted dog, right? But it's an electric bike. But he bought like 8 of them. I don't know where he got them from. And he sold like a couple of them on eBay, get his money back, and then he still got some of them sitting in his shop. So I guess if I want one, I've got access to get one. Yeah, My dad ain't never gave me nothing in life. I'd probably have to pay for it, but
you'd have to pay more than what the guys on eBay paid for.
Right, probably so.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Mark.
Yeah, right. But anyway, good conversation. I wish I could go anywhere on one.
Yeah,
but you talked about the boat a while ago. That's a if I can hunt out of the boat, I'm hunting out of a boat. Mm-hmm. I'm big on that. And I just it was about a year or two there. I didn't have one. Divorce issues, but anyway, I just bought another one recently, and I'm pumped about it. I'm pumped about being able to hunt out of the boat again this year. So I do a lot of that, and a lot of the times I'm by myself doing that, which is, I'm not one of those guys that, feels like I got to get someone to go with me to go hunt. And I like to hunt by myself. So anyway, fired up about getting to get out of,
That's awesome.
Get in the boat. Yeah.
What kind of boat did you get?
A Stratus. It's a bass boat.
Just one that'll sit kind of up in the water, getting some shallow stuff, or?
Yeah, no, it's a Stratus, 2018 Stratus for the 115, but it's it's perfect for anything I'm going to use.
Yeah, hunt and fish out of it.
Hunt and fish out of it. I got a really good deal. I drove to Alabama to pick it up, but I'm pleased with it. I'm excited, especially with kids too. My boys have taken to it, especially my oldest. He's getting to the age where he can really go and do a little bit.
He just won his first bass.
Yeah, he won his first fishing tournament, and I went into that with like zero expectations. He just picked up a rod and reel and really took to it probably the past 2 or 3 months, and which we've gone a lot since I've got that boat. I say a lot. I mean, we've been a handful of times, and we went to the cutoff or Bartholomew, one evening, and he caught one, the only one we caught. So I got beat by a 6-year-old. But anyway, the tournament was fun. Anybody that's listening that's able to next year, they do it every year. That was the 50th annual youth benefit tournament out of Felsenthal Port. I highly recommend it. David Cameron put that on, and they did a great job. They had, it was probably 25 to 30 kids in his division. That was 6 to 12, and then they done a 13 to 17 division that probably had that many or even more. And it was every kid there. They got some type of raffle. Yeah. So Michael and Richard, if you are listening, next year, hook these guys up with something up there. But anyway, it was a great time. My boy, he impressed me. He caught 8 by himself. And we fished Main River because, like I said, he's still learning. I said, we're going to fish channel swing or hard curves, current related stuff. Put him on a heavy weight, and I said, throw in them tops, and there'll be a Kentucky there basically. Mm-hmm. And that's how we caught his 5. Nice. So
there's a lot of grown men that can't go out on the main river and catch 8.
It was fishing tough, man. They had a Thursday night tournament down there, and prior to the Saturday tournament, and I didn't jump in the tournament, but just specifically because I knew if I was going to fish it, I'd fish differently. I'd fish some backwater stuff, trying to catch a 4 or 5 pounder, But I did a little bit of that, and I got bit like 1 or 2 bites, and I was like, man, this is tough for me to get, and I was frog fishing really, in which, he can't really frog fish. So I was like, I'm really wasting my time. So that's when I got out in the main river, and I started running north as far as I could, trying to get in some current because there was hardly no current around the port. And I was able to run up there, and I got bit pretty quick. And I knew they was biting because Courtney got bit too, so, Shout out to Courtney.
Shout out to little mama. She gets bit.
She gets bit. I was like, hey,
you can catch him.
My boy can come back. He can catch one because he be putting it on her too. So anyway, we come back to Saturday, and we started off slow. We had one at like 8:30, but we put up this one spot, and he put 3 in the boat in less than 5 minutes, and I was
Wow.
like, "Oh, we need one more. We got a limit." And 10 minutes later, we had that. So it was a lot of fun. One of the dad moments you won't forget. So it was awesome.
I know I'm in the same boat. I was like, man, I can't wait for Vaughn. I can't wait. I can. Like, I don't want him to grow up.
Right.
Like, he's 2 right now, and I'm like, you stay just where you are. Like, come snuggle daddy.
Right.
I still want to give me a kiss on the cheek, and
Yeah.
like, let's tussle and play and stuff like that. But
And then I'm seeing that with my oldest. He's getting to the, he's 7 now, and my youngest one's 5. Courtney's boy's 6. So that's bang, bang, bang. But, not to flip script from what we're talking on, but so I try to get all of them on deer too. Well, last year we hunted nothing but public land. I didn't have behind the house. I've got that 80 acres that the doctor across the street's kind enough he lets me hunt it. Miles killed his first one, first sit back there on a youth hunt. This is before they get smart, before everybody gets to hunting. This is around houses and whatnot. So he killed his first one, and then it was tough to get Braxton and Maddox on one. But we made it happen. We did. Braxton killed his, I think, into January. But
I remember it was late.
It was down to the wire. Yeah. But that was a fun hunt. We went, I'm not going to say where because I don't, but it was a youth hunt. And, man, I bet we seen 25 deer before he killed one. I mean, it was crazy. It was just one of them. You found where they was at, and they was there. They was in there thick. And that's the thing about hunting late. You can find a food source or something that them deer are, using.
driven to, yeah.
You're gonna, they pile up, and it was awesome. It was one of them days you don't forget.
You just take them out there and just sit on the ground.
Yes, using that. What's the thing? It's a three prong.
Like a shooting stick, a trigger stick or whatever.
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but it's a couple $100.
Yeah.
But
it's like the Primos.
Yeah, something it's basically a vice is what it is.
Oh, bog pod.
Bog pod. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Bog pod.
If you got kids and you're trying to hunt public land, that's the only way to go. All of my kids, they killed at 4, which whatever. People may say I'm starting them too young, but I don't care what they say. They shoot my AR with a red dot scope. You get them within 70 yards, it'll kill them. And I think we've shot 5. We recovered 4 of the 5. So
pretty good odds.
That's with kids shooting. Yeah, put the red dot on the shoulder, pull the trigger, and it's worked. Now Braxton killed his last year with a 308 scope rifle. It was funny because I think he missed twice, I think, before we killed one. Well, after he shot the second time, and it may have been the first time, I may be getting this wrong, I don't know. But he pulled the trigger and the deer ran off or whatever. Well, I looked in the scope, and the scope was like, it was sitting like this. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to hit one like that, bud.
It was just loose.
Oh, yeah. It just wasn't sitting straight, exactly 100% straight, and it was, like I said, it was loose. But by the time we got our third opportunity, I said, are you on it? And he said, I'm close. I said, close, don't cut it, dog. So anyway, I said, get it on the shoulder, pull the trigger. And he dropped that last one. So, but it was awesome. That's what's taking up a lot of my time too, get into that aspect of hunting, Last year was a struggle. I didn't kill as many before, as I normally do. The year before that, it's like first year I tagged out in both Arkansas and Louisiana. And could have killed more. It got to the point where I was like, I just gotta quit. I had doe tags, still was legal to be out there, and I was like, man, I'm getting tried by deer. Yeah, deer that I normally would be tickled to shoot later in the year. But anyway, that was a great year. I had some time, That's the main thing's time. If you, just time. If you got the time to go, and the way I hunt, I try to hunt, I bounce, Like I know where I want to start. I want to be done here by this date, ideally. And then, start making my moves south, and then east or which, wherever.
You're talking about like actual, not just locations on this refuge. You're talking about like hunting this refuge that may be located in this part of the state. You're going, what it's going to produce and what the deer do in this time of the year.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it, that was that comes with time, with hunting in this area. Just knowing when the deer typically go. Best time to be in the woods for that area. And that kind of sucks too, because there's a couple of places that I really enjoy hunting, but it comes, they're done by the second week of November, and other places I may not enjoy hunting so much, but it's getting cracked up. You need to be over there, and anyway, and I like hunting. I'm just a river bottoms guy. I like to hunt them bottoms. I enjoy it. That's the way I was brought up. I enjoy that more than anything. But I find myself hunting a lot of grass and, off the ground, or I don't have a saddle yet, and everybody's talking on these saddles, and I'm just old school. Like you said, I use my Summit Climber. I'm an old school guy, or a lock on, but, I'm going to get one. That's something that I will be adding to my arsenal.
You definitely are.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting one. Tanner's got one.
Yeah.
And, just seeing, what you can do with those things. For certainly some of these places that we hunt that's grass, but, you need, if you bow hunt, hunting off the ground is about impossible. I've done it. I've been successful a time or two, but I've been not successful way more than I was successful at shooting bucks off the ground.
Yeah.
So,
well, and you're talking about time. Like, we both have kids now, and even if you don't have kids, if you're just a single dude and all you're going to go do is just hunt every day,
right,
you still need to be self-aware of like the time that you have, because you're not getting to go hunt every day. We have jobs, like we have life, so you can't just do that. And so you want to make like the best effort you can, and time management is something that's looked over. But if you're quicker with your Summit, or somebody's quicker with going and popping up a ground blind and that works for them or whatever, so be it. But it's not just me, man. Like, I was talking with Michael McVeigh earlier. He just went and got a new saddle today, and he's talking about, like, dude, and it's one of the new tethered saddles. And I don't remember the model. Or say new. It could have been last year's model. Regardless, he found it on sale, got it, and he got that tethered, whatever it is. But he's like, man, this is probably not something I'm going to want to go sit all day in. And I wouldn't either. Like, I'd rather sit in my Millennial lock on than I would that, or that stump blind and like a chair like this. I'd rather sit in that. But if you're sitting just from an hour and a half before daylight to 10 or 11 o'clock, you're going to break down, go eat lunch, do whatever, get back out there for the last 5 or 6 hours of daylight. A saddle, even when we're up there in Kansas, if the wind's right and I can hunt a saddle,
you're going to hunt them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get one. Like I said, I was one of those guys that was, old school, I guess, originally when they first come out. But like I said, and most of the stuff that I hunt, places that I hunt, I've got a set tree, I'm going here on this wind, and it may be the same general area, or, but you know how it is, playing the wind. But anyway, what I'm saying is I've hunted out of climber my whole life, so majority of the spots I hunt is the same trees that I've climbed, 30 times. So I haven't just ran into where I really just had to have one, but I can definitely see the benefit of having one, especially on them little small trees where you can just climb up, an upper Ouachita or somewhere like that, you could, even on a rifle hunts and stuff like that, it could be a game changer. And in the Midwest as well, like you're talking about with Kansas, I've got to go out there and hunt. Went to Illinois 3 years ago, and that was my first time since I was a kid getting to go out Midwest, and it's just.
That's a different animal.
It's a different animal. That's the only way you can say it. It'll ruin you. What you just finna say, it will ruin you if you'll let it. And it's, I don't care what nobody says. If you can be successful here at home, you can be successful anywhere, because home is the hardest place to hunt. You go up there, and I think I had like 10 days to hunt. I killed one like the second day, and he wasn't no giant or nothing. He was 130-something inch deer. I was tickled. Don't get me wrong. It was a bow kill. And then, but I was like, I mean, the deer done exactly what they should have done. And, you know, that don't happen at home. It just don't seem like it ever happens that way. But anyway, like I said, I'm kind of going around the rabbit hole there. But if you can kill them here at home, you can kill them just about anywhere.
Yeah.
That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah. But like that saddle you're talking about going to the Midwest hunting, that's one of the reasons you have cottonwoods up there. So like this big modifier, like that big light up there, I mean, that thing is, I think, 62 inches. There's cottonwoods up there that are bigger than that. It seems like they're massive. And so going and you're just limited on the trees is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like you can, and then when you do go and you find a tree, like, okay, this would be great. Putting a lock on up there, like that's tough because you finally may go get what is going to be a straight spot. We only have 1.5 foot of that tree being straight. And so like really up in the Midwest is when I found, I say Midwest, like Kansas, Oklahoma is when I found that the saddle works better for me. As long as you can go and get tethered up above you and it's semi-straight and it's not like a hard like dog leg over and it's wanting, like gravity's wanting to pull you that way. If you can get a semi-straight tree, it don't matter if it's, you know, that big around or, you know, half as big around as that table. If you can, as long as you can get your straps and stuff around it, like your platform, then you're good to go. But it's so easy to go up there and just find a tree. Like you were talking about earlier, you have those trees up there that you've hunted for. I feel like I'm trying to sell it to you now. I promise I'm not.
No,
but like
no.
you have those trees up there that you've been climbing for, you know.
My spikes stay in them.
Yeah, like, you know, you've been hunting those same trees forever. And well, if you go in and the wind's twirling on you or spinning on you or something and it's just not quite right, instead of backing out or being even more limited on what tree, I mean, dude, I've killed deer 8 foot off the ground. You literally put 2 sticks up there, put your platform, and I mean, you're using like limbs to try to help climb up. That's how bad of trees they are. But once you get up there, it's like, why have I not always done this? Being 8 feet off the ground,
Right.
Like
If you got cover.
Well, and that's the thing I like about a saddle. Back to Michael McVeigh, that's what we were talking about. I was like, I love hunting lock-ons, but I love having structure like a tree in between me and you. If I'm the deer, especially me trying to film or bow hunt or whatever, if you're the deer and I'm the hunter, and there's a tree, even if it's only that, you know, that big, if there's a tree in between us with limbs and stuff like that, that breaks me up so much more. And I told him that, and then last year at Cottonwood, me and all the guys at Spotted Dog were over there hunting, and I was actually filming Richard's son. And so I'm sitting here in the tree, and I was just running just a handheld camera, I think that camera right there, and I was just holding it just like this. Well, I heard something. He really wanted to kill a doe. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. We're just about to get down. Haven't seen anything. Like some Canadian geese flying over the river and like some speckle bellies in like November, and that was it. I'm like, I'll shoot one of those.
I'll try me.
Look like freaking ostriches flying over, you know, the massive 40-pound geese. And we both hear something. It's pretty calm out there. And we look back. The river's probably 25 or 30 yards behind us. When we look back, and there's this doe. I mean, she has no idea, but she's walking to the direction, like the wind's blowing like this, and she's coming from here. So she's going to catch our scent. And he was in, I think, a ladder stand right there, and I was in my saddle back behind him filming. And she gets right there, straight downwind of us. And I had my bow up there too, and I was like, I'm going to go put my camera down, grab my bow, and I'll shoot the doe. It just didn't work out. And so there are situations where hunting a saddle, it is troublesome, and it just doesn't work out how you want. But that's hunting. Everything's like that.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Everything. And I used to, probably going to laugh at me, but I used to go in and I'd hang a ladder stand, you know, in these spots that I was so confident
I remember
in.
these days.
You know, I was so confident that I'm going to kill right here. There's no doubt. And actually, there's one on a tree right now that I leave it there, and it's funny because about every 2 years it gets stolen, the game warden's taken. I put another one in the same exact spot. I'm just like, it is what it is, you know.
Community hole, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's a spot that oh man, it's a late season spot at a place that it used to not get a lot of pressure. It seems like it does now. It actually gets a whole lot of pressure now. But anyway, yeah, I leave a ladder stand over there all year round. I can shimmy up in it like it was last year. I pulled up there to get in it, and it was gone. I was like, well, I got to come hang
It's
another
a note, like thumbtack to the tree. It's
No,
like, we know who it is.
No,
Stop.
they haven't left me no notes, but I know that they know.
Well,
like,
they know who it is.
they
Well,
know
they're
who
probably
it is.
not. They're like, we get these free stands.
Yeah.
Keep
and
bringing them.
I'm just like, I get it for $50 on Marketplace. It is what it is. I'm not worried about it. I want to be able to slip up there, and by that time, by the end of December, I'm tired. I'm like, I want to just ease in and ease out and not have to, you know what I'm saying? Not have to put as much work, I guess, into it.
Yeah.
And that spot it's about as easy a place as I hunt. It's a 400-yard maybe walk, and you're there. And I don't get very many of those. It don't seem like. It seems like most of what I do is, you know,
A ways in.
And it seems like I never find easy spots.
I don't know if there are easy spots on public ground.
I don't know if it is easy. It used to be easier, but now it seems like there's more people and everybody wants to, and that's fine. I mean, I'm supportive for people to get out and do this because it's something I'm very passionate about, and I know you are as well. But it's annoying too, to a certain extent, because it used to be a lot easier than what it is now.
Yeah.
Especially with these mud boats.
Yeah.
That's,
that's
everybody's got a mud boat now, and everybody wants to be a hunter, and you know.
It's a lot of blown deer.
Yeah, man.
Mud boats. Back to the e-bike. That's why I love it, man.
Yeah.
Like, we've been up in Kansas. I literally can see it in my brain, like my memory right now. I was riding an e-bike in this past season. I don't remember. It was after I killed my buck up there this past year. So I was going up there just to doe hunt. It was early one morning. And I was slipping back there probably.
Doe hunt.
Huh?
Doe hunt.
Well, you can only kill one buck in Kansas.
Yeah, no. You know, you're at the wrong place.
We'll turn cameras off in a minute.
Yeah.
No, I'm for real. Absolutely. My father-in-law would.
It's different when it's your
me.
land, you know. Yeah.
It is, but he
property.
would. It ain't just my land.
Right.
He would kill me, absolutely kill me, and take joy out of it. He's listening to this right now, just probably laughing and shaking his head.
That's funny.
I'm a lot better of abiding the law than what I used to be.
Yeah,
a whole lot better. But I can vividly see it right now. I was riding in, and I have like a stream light that I got from Spotted Dog, and it's like 1,000 lumens, but it has this removable cap that you can put on it, and it turns red. I don't know if red or green is better. I have no idea.
They say red, and we can talk about that in a minute, because I am a believer in that.
Yeah,
but,
for sure. So I know that red works. I'm not saying it works better than green. I just know it's better than white.
Right.
And I'm riding that Rambo bike in, and I go and I pass one of the feeders in a food plot. So I'm riding past it. So I just turn just to look at it. I kid you not. I'm here to like all those light stands and stuff over there. 12, 15 steps. And again, I'm riding an e-bike, but it's silent, and it's just a constant sound. It doesn't sound like foot patter or traffic at all, you know. And I turn my headlamp over. I'm riding like this, and I go, just as I go past, I turn my head and look, and there are multiple does, like 3, 4, 5 does right there. They're all right there at the feeder. And I remember, this is the part I can vividly see. One of them sitting there chewing, and she has what's that protein feed? I don't remember, but anyhow, she has protein feed, and I could see the brown pellets. Of course, it's red in my light, you know, but I could see it coming out of her mouth. Like, that's how close we were.
That's crazy.
And once I got over there, went on. That's what we call stump one. So I went around it, got over there to the very end of the food plot, and I took the the red cap off to shine that way because it'd be really bright. Those does are still at the feeder. I'm like, now that's not going to happen every time. Most of the time, it's probably not. But that one time that I actually noticed it, I was like, I'm sold.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely sold.
And there's a red light and the constant noise of the e-bike.
Yeah, I think so. But those deer, there's no traffic. Like, there's a few cattle farmers around that when cattle get on our place, they'll go and drive their trucks in there and whatever, but they never see people.
Really?
Not like here.
Yeah, that's a game changer. Speaking on the lights, I'm a big no light guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it matters. I mean, to me, it matters. I don't like, if I got a light on, somebody's probably with me and they're asking for one. I do not hardly use a light. And if I do, it's the red light, and it's where I can barely see my feet. But I think accessing how you access in and out is overlooked as well, you know. So anyway, where I'm going at with that is, I'm big on either you get there really early and you can access it using that, you know, a light, or it's daybreak and I can see slipping in and slipping out. That may be, and that's just something I believe in. I mean, I'm not saying it's correct.
You feel like you blow less deer that way?
I think I do. I think that, you know, a lot of deer are alerted off sound, you know, especially an hour before daylight. And if I can slip in, you know, especially if I'm hunting in river bottoms and I know there's a big top here that I know deer beds in regularly. He may not be there today, but I may skirt that top. I can skirt it and, you know, get into the tree or whatever. Like I said, it's just a belief of mine, and it's worked. I mean, I've literally seen deer get up out of stuff that I purposely swerved, you know, where if I came in there, you know, 30, 40 minutes for daylight and I'm just tromping through the woods trying to follow my thing to get to a tree and I'm making all kinds of racket, you know, I would rather be late, you know, be 20 minutes settling after daylight than be walking in there 30 minutes. Now, if it's 2.5 hours, 3 hours early, which very rarely am I, I'm not going to lie to you.
I ain't doing that much.
I'm not that guy unless I got to have a lot of confidence in
Mm-hmm.
everything that day. But, you know, I'd rather be, like I said, right at daylight slipping in where I can see, you know, where I'm going. And I'm not your guy that's going to have any flagging or any of those
bright eyes.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm pulling them down if I'm walking up on some. So if you got some out there that's missing, you know, I'm your boy. I probably took it. So
You got a collection of them?
it is what it is. Yeah, I got a bunch of them. I used to give them to Tanner back in the day because his little scared self used to be scared walking in and out.
360 around the tree.
Yeah, I used to have to flag too, like whenever he first started hunting with me on public, which he was a kid. I mean, he was 13 or 14 years old. 13 probably. Yeah, I'd put him in his tree and then I would flag to wherever I went. And it didn't seem like I ever had to pull it down because he come and found me. It seemed like it. So
He beat that son going down.
Yeah,
Look, we all did it when we was kids.
Oh yeah, I can sit and tell you. I can tell you all kinds of stories of me sitting in the stand, upset, waiting on my dad to come get me when I was a kid.
Dude, I used to be scared to death of the dark.
Man.
I'm talking about scared like.
I started hunting at 9 by myself because of you know, there was 3 of us. So Dad couldn't, you know, he would put me, like I said, I started hunting by myself at 9. And the mornings were always okay. I was like, I'm good, you know, it'd be daylight in 15 or 20 minutes. But the dark, boy, you know, the evening times, it was a different story, you know. I remember one time I shot a deer and it was like a little 6-point or something. And I was pumped, you know. And shot the deer or whatever. Well, back then we didn't have phones, so we had these walkie-talkies. Well, I heard Caden or Tanner shoot. I don't remember which one it was, but one of them shot, and it gets like, you know, it's like right at dusk when they shot, and I hit them on the radio, nothing. 30 minutes after dark goes by, nothing. I'm hitting them on the radio. I'm like, and then by this time, you know, any little noise, you know,
That's old boogeyman.
Yeah, and I'm out there with my little flashlight, can't see 30 yards. Man, I ain't gonna say if I was crying or not, but I probably was.
Your boy was crying.
Boy, I finally it was probably an hour, and I finally heard that 4-wheeler coming, and he drove to me from the 4, like he didn't have to drive around with a truck or nothing. I heard that 4-wheeler coming. Daddy pulled up there and he said, "What'd you shoot?" And I said, "You know, shot a buck or whatever." Where you been? You know, basically. Anyway, he's like, "Where's the deer?" I said, "You had to ride right past him." He said, "You know, deer on that lane." I said, "You drove right past him. I mean, you had to. Right there by that washout." Anyway, we get down there. Deer ain't there. To this day, I don't know what happened. But we started going off in the woods, and you could see drag marks, like where the leaves had been messed up or whatever. We went about 30 yards, and the deer was there, but it was like missing a chunk out of it. And
Coyotes or something, you think?
Coyotes, you know, you hear these people with panthers, whatever. I'm not a believer in the Black Panther. Matter of fact,
Come on.
If you guys believe in Black Panthers, you know, you need to hunt a little more because
they ain't real.
They ain't real. I run a lot of deer cameras, and I hunt a lot now. I ain't saying you ain't going to see a brown one.
I ain't going to see no black one.
But you ain't going to see a black one. And anyway,
you just made some people mad.
Yeah, and we can have that conversation the other day. But I'm a believer in that. Like, I don't believe in the Black Panther thing. Like I said, you got to think about how many deer cameras are out there, how many people deer hunt. There's all these people talk about it, but show me a video of one, and I don't mean a house cat.
Well, there's that one that is circulating around, and you could tell it's in Florida. Like,
Yeah.
it's like the Florida Everglades.
Yeah, I just mean Louisiana. I'm not saying, you know.
But I mean, people shared, like, just saw it there around Shamanahaw. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that picture is literally, like up in Beekman. Yeah, like that picture is the same one somebody posted here 12 years ago saying that it was in Jones. Like, no, but.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know how we got on that topic.
There's no telling.
But anyway, yeah, we got the deer out that day and got the heck out of there. And the reason why they were so late is because my brother was a terrible shot, and they were tracking that
Which
deer
one?
for both of them. Both of them. Well, Caden's a killer. He's not a hunter. He's just a killer. When he goes, he's going to pull the trigger, and he's successful. Tanner gets shook up. I don't know what Tanner's problem is. Tanner's killed a lot of good deer, a lot of big deer. His trophy room is really impressive, to be honest with you. He's 7 years younger than me. I credit myself for his trophy room too. You know,
all them thumbtacks.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. He spent a lot of time, killed some good deer, and he's the opportunity to get to hunt some good places. You know, something that I didn't have until I was 20, 21. You know,
and that makes a difference.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And you got the learning curves too with, because I grew up hunting in Beekman just like you did. You know, and it was corn piles and basically shoot brown, but didn't kill a whole lot of bucks growing up.
No, very few. If you did, they had bumps on their heads.
Yeah. The accidental.
Yeah, white horns was not available.
Still kill them every now and then on accident. We'll talk about that. Let's just get into that about the Felsenthal doe rule. That's
it's been in place for a while though.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be in place anymore. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, I was talking with Michael Little, and
he hunts up there.
I don't know if he hunts up there much anymore,
Yeah,
but he did. There was very few people that hunted up in Felsenthal as much as him. That cat was up there all the time.
Yeah, I know. I know where he likes to.
Yeah,
Michael, I know where good spot, good area.
He probably ain't anymore because he ain't up there much. But it's number one. It's too expensive to go up there. Just for me to go up there and hunt just a little bit, and that's one of the main things. Like, what is it? $400 now?
It's $410 now. But I work up there.
Yeah.
So,
and it's worth it for you. But like for me, being here in West Monroe, that's what I'm saying.
I would not.
5-ish years ago, ain't no way.
The time I spend up there, and I ain't decided that I may change this year. I typically, I start up there at the end of September trying to kill a doe, and it's normally a week or two before it. Hopefully by 2 weekends I've got a doe. But then you run into the weather. The weather's got to get right for you to even. I may have a deer I want to go try to hunt, but I can't. I'm not just going to go in there when it's freaking 90 degrees.
Well, especially because those big bucks, they're not. A lot of deer's not moving, but especially those big bucks, they don't just up and just roll them all the time just because they're an animal out in the wild.
Especially when it's 90 degrees.
Yeah.
I mean, they will, but. It just depends on terrain. I'm big on if it's open woods and it's 95 degrees, they're liable to move more. But you get up in there and you hunt some of the stuff I hunt's piney ridges up there. And like I said, this may just be a thing in my head, but I feel like them deer that are on them thicker spots, they're gonna get out there where they can get a breeze, on them hotter days. And I've seen deer, together. Still running together bucks. Seen one time we had an opportunity of three deer that's bigger than anything I've got on the wall together out there. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. But anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. But it was the heat tough to deal with early in the year when you're trying to kill bucks. But
I saw a video. I just looked over and saw those bows. So this is the one. This is this year's the 2024 model Hoyt, the Alpha X30. And so when they sent this bow, I told Michael and Richard, we're talking about like what accessories do you want what accessories do you want to put on it or whatever. And so that Matthews, that's the Phase 4 33, and I've been shooting it for 2 years. Best bow I've ever shot.
Really?
It's
by far.
Oh my gosh, it's no.
Have you shot this one yet?
Yeah, that's the one I killed my deer with in Kansas last year.
Really?
Yeah, and I think I may have said it.
So
on
both of
here.
these are yours.
Yeah.
Nicer than anything I got, by the way.
Yeah, but that don't mean I can kill anything with them. We swap out a little bit of marketing is what it is. Yeah.
I got you.
But no, this is matter of fact. I'm still in there. The arrow from that 160 whatever 163 this year in Kansas with that bow. I got it on a Monday, so it got delivered on a Monday. We went, put everything together on it. I think it was Monday afternoon is when I went over there and we put everything on it. So I got it Monday, didn't shoot it Tuesday, didn't have time. Shot it Wednesday afternoon for like maybe 20 arrows, 15 to 20 arrows. Like I just shot it at 20 to make sure my zero was on, and then the adjustable sight. So I went ahead and dialed it back to I think 70 or 80, I think, and shot it. I was like, it's on. Like I'm going hunting. That was Wednesday afternoon. Went, packed my bag, met my father-in-law in Pine Bluff Thursday morning. We headed to Kansas. Got up there Thursday afternoon. Again, I got the bow Monday. Left Thursday going to Kansas. Friday morning at like 7 whatever o'clock, killed my deer.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
No, that doesn't happen.
It's just absolutely wild. But that's the Hoyt Alpha X, and it's awesome. It's in that Origin Raptor camo. Like it's freaking sweet. This is something.
I was looking at that.
I'll let you look at it. It's legit. But I wanted to go, and I didn't want to get a Matthews this year. I've never had a Hoyt, and I'm like, man, I do all the marketing stuff for these companies, and I push other brands, but I don't know how they shoot. Like I've just shot a Matthews forever. Why? Like why do I just shoot a Matthews? And so I got that Hoyt for hunting. This is just hunting. That's the best setup I've ever shot. The whole setup. Just take everything as it sits right there. That's the best setup. I wanted something that was small. I didn't want 12-inch bars, 8-inch bars or side bars. Like I didn't want all that. I wanted a shorter axle to axle, and just something that was a really good hunting setup. And that's what I got. I'm shooting a 405 grain arrow, so it's crazy light. Mm-hmm. And anyhow, I killed 4 deer with it and a hog this year. And so
You're busy.
3 deer in Kansas. I killed that buck, which was 250 plus, and I killed a doe, which was like 140, and another doe, 110, 120, something like that. And killed a big doe over at the farm over by the river this year with it. And then and then a hog. It was all just clean pass-throughs.
Really?
Like when I shot that dead meat, and the shot location was good. Like I hit them where I wanted to hit them, but 405 grains, it blew through them.
I shoot that dead meat too.
It's good.
It's a good bro.
I like it.
I shot it. I've been shooting it 2 years now, I think. Yeah, 2 years, and it's for what you can just go out and buy. It's a good broadhead.
I think they make a lot of really good ones. The dead and the mega meat. The mega meat's awesome. Like it's
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, and I think so. The mega meat is the 2-inch. The dead meat's the 1.5 inch. Mm-hmm. The stuff, dude. The deer that I've seen killed with the mega meat, it's ridiculous. Like you remember the hype that Rage had? Mm-hmm. We were like in junior high or high school.
I killed a bunch of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. They're still
yeah.
great. Like they're still good head. There's just some other really good options as well. Not saying better, some really good ones. But the mega meat, it's wild. But dude, that dead meat is stupid. But the dead meat for like flying, if you go and you want to shoot something at 60 plus yards, and you want to say like, all right, let's find the head that shoots the absolute best. There's some really, really good cutting blades out there, like cutting broadheads. Mm-hmm. There's very few that fly like to meet my standards. Yeah, like there's very few. But the overall best broadhead, the best flying one is that Levi Morgan, which I think it's right here.
Yeah, let me look at that.
You tell something's been killed with it. It don't have the O-ring around it. But that's a 100 grain head. All I shoot's a 100 grain head. Any extra weight you want on the front end, just run an insert. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is the best flying broadhead a man can buy. There's no doubt that's the absolute very best one. You want to go and you want to shoot 80 yards, and you go and you grab 6 of these and you shoot 6 of these versus even the dead meat. Dead meats are just a touch low and touch left past 60.
You've shot them a lot, clearly.
Yeah, but it's kind of my job, kind of.
Right.
But I'm still choosing to shoot the dead meat overall, just because I'm not shooting deer past 60 really. And
when you say a little low and a little left, how much do you mean?
2-ish inches.
Yeah. I mean.
Yes, I mean.
Yeah.
Not.
And like you said, you're not shooting very. I'm not saying you can't kill one that far, but you've got to have a lot of things in your favor.
Even if you're a great archer, you could be John Dudley. And
Yes.
there's a lot that can go wrong between you're pulling through and that arrow releases versus what that does when you're shooting.
I think the furthest I've ever killed a deer was 47 steps, and I hit it on the opposite side that I was aiming.
Because it spins, it spun on you?
He squatted and spun, and I hit him in the back ham.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it was one of the best blood trails I've ever been on in my life.
Hit that artery back there.
I hit that artery back there, and that deer didn't go. John, he come out there and helped me find it. It was on public land. It was 8-point, but it was. He actually brought axe, but because I was so not sure, when I shot him, and I was in some thick stuff, brother. I mean, thick, and all I seen was where my knock hit, and I was like, "That's terrible. That's not what I was going for. Not what I was going for." But like I said, he come out there, and I really caught him because I didn't want to have to at this specific place. You could retrieve, I was like, I really don't want to make this 1.5 mile walk out. Why don't you come out here and help me?
Yeah.
So anyway, shout out to John for coming to pick me up.
Oh, John, we'll have to get him on. Yeah, we had some fun stuff fun stories. But yeah, so that's that Alpha X30. But my point of I don't know what my point is. I'm squirrel brained. But where I wanted to get to in this, have you seen the videos of these guys? It's not Demolition Ranch. I don't remember who it is. It's like Adventure Seekers or something. I don't know. I'll find it and post it up there. I don't remember the name. But they go and they get new bows and they destroy it. How I told you how I've tried to destroy that turtle box. Mm-hmm. They take it to the extreme. This dude had a Dodge.
These bows.
They had the new Hoyt, which is the carbon. This is the aluminum riser. Right. He had the carbon riser, and laid it flat, like on the ground, and across like this, and drove across it with a Dodge 3500, 7,000-pound pickup truck. Drove across it with a Dodge 3500. Pulled the tape measure out, checked axle to axle, checked the brace height. All it was good. The bow was cracked up like at the limb pockets. It was like right here, so you could tell where the tire ran over, like maybe both of those at the kind of the same time. That flex right in there, it cracked. I think it was cracked the riser or the limbs. I don't remember. But they checked specs on it. It was good. Checked a 20-yard zero, bullet holes, perfect.
Really?
And so they did that. They got up in a tree, like 15 foot, dropped it flat on the ground multiple times. Just the sight wasn't on it, but they dropped it on the ground flat multiple times. Put the sight on it, drew back. I mean, I have too.
Yeah,
I think I've done it with that. I think I've done it with that bow actually over at the farm. And I was again saddle hunting in the rain, and I don't remember what happened. I think it slipped. It's either that or the V3. I don't remember. I think it was that one. But they'll drop it out of a tree stand, like 15 foot, lands multiple times, doesn't break. The only time it broke is when they drove over it with a freaking dually, like a Dodge 3500.
What did you expect?
Yeah, like what do you expect? But it still shot. Like
yeah.
it was out of spec a little bit, but still shot. What else did they do? Oh, the biggest one, or I say run it over with Dodge 3500 is big. They dry fired it multiple times.
Really?
Multiple times.
That's crazy.
Didn't break.
It's crazy what 10 years ago, try that.
I didn't want to try, but I don't think you could have done it. No. I don't know what other bow brands will do that. Like I don't know if the Matthews will do that.
That was just on the Hoyt.
That was just on the Hoyt, and it was the carbon. It was the RX-8 carbon bow.
I shoot a Hoyt if you're wondering.
There you go.
Sounds like I'm shooting the rights, and especially for me, as rough as I am on it. I've got to get mine down to Michael and Richard. I need new strings and stuff put on mine.
We're actually going. Today's Monday. We're going. Today's Monday. Yes, we're going Wednesday. We're going down there and doing like a podcast. I know we're doing another episode, but get your bows in now. Get your stuff in now. Don't wait until August,
right?
Because every other Jake Leg's gonna wait until August
to get their stuff.
Yeah, and then you're gonna be like, hey, I need some gas strings ordered, and they're like, okay, it'll be 8 weeks. You're like, right. Oh no, I need them. Yeah. I need them first.
Need to be shooting next weekend.
Yeah, like I ain't shot my bow since December. I need to be shooting.
Right.
Yeah. Do you shoot much?
I don't shoot as much as I used to, and it's just strictly because I don't have time with the job I've got and with the kids. I used to really enjoy it, and we used to. I don't know. Me and you used to shoot a little bit together, but we used to go to John's. And we used to shoot all the time. We'd play 21. We'd play. Get a good group over there and play. And I'm not saying we won't do that, but I don't shoot as much as I should. But I'm shooting the same bow I've been shooting for like 5 years now, and it's just I'm pretty confident, you know.
Yeah, like
I've never been a great dot shooter though. Don't you know?
Yeah.
You yourself, John, everybody's probably gonna outshoot me at targets, but I tend to do okay when it's game time.
Yeah.
And I tried the whole film myself thing we was talking about earlier. You know, you was wanting to make sure you got that. You know, I'm not that guy. I figured out real quick.
You're gonna shoot them with a bow, not with a camera.
Yeah, I figured out real quick. I could. But on public land, it's different too. You know, you get an opportunity, you better take it. And I tell everybody, you know, I just told you, I ain't got tired of shooting 115s yet. You know, 115-inch deer comes by me, I got 3 tags in Louisiana, I'm shooting him. You know, but especially with one of them, with a bow. But I don't know, man. I'm ate up with it. I love it. So I can't wait. I'm counting down the days. I actually have a calendar at work that exactly tells me how many days till I can be up a tree again. So.
Yeah. Well, you do. You need to get your bow down there for real.
I will. I will probably have it down there as soon as I get back from this vacation.
Yeah.
Next week. So.
That's my biggest pet peeve is, and I'm not calling you out because this is not you, but like people, they want to go and they want to go buy all these big stands. Like they want to invest all this money and even time in like preseason. Like now, like we're June and July. If you're doing food plots, you need to be getting on that stuff now.
Oh, ain't
like
no doubt.
Now's when you're doing stuff. Like if you're gonna put cameras up before season, not to pattern deer, but if you just want to look at inventory and see what you have,
yeah,
like you need to be doing that now.
And I just actually I need to come down there and grab some more cameras too, but I'm big on that. Like I will be throwing all of my stuff out. I've got some stuff already out, but that's close to home. But I will have cameras going within the next probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'll probably run them for a month everywhere. And it's not just like you said the pattern, because you can't. They lose that velvet. Things change. But just so you know.
But like my point is, people want to spend so much money and so much time and stuff, and this is my pet peeve. Rifle hunters too, bow hunters or rifle hunters or freaking duck hunters, not patterning their shotgun, not knowing what their shotgun does or whatever.
What their equipment will do.
Yeah, like you need to get your string, because the last thing you want is to be up there in that
questioning.
Yeah, or not even questioning. You have all the confidence in the world,
right?
But that stuff's not made to last forever, you know.
Yeah.
And so you get up there and you go to draw back on that 130, 140 up in Felsen, up in wherever you're hunting. Yeah. And you got to draw back, and guess what? A cable breaks on you, or your peep. Worst thing in the world, your peep is turned, or whatever it is, and you can't. Yeah, you can't see. And so that's my thing. Like if people if they're going to go and they're going to hunt, like guys, girls too, go and test your equipment. Make sure your stuff's good. Change your strings out, even if it's not every year. Just take it to Michael and Richard. Let them look at it. And
Michael and Richard are going to make fun of me whenever I take my string to them, because it's in that bad a shape.
No, they're not.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, I nicked it with a broadhead.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So I nicked it at like probably probably the end of November last year. No, because I killed one. So it was December, probably sometime in December. Well, I hunted the rest of the year, and I was like, I don't know if this thing's going to come unwound whenever I draw back.
Was that this past year?
Yes. Yeah. But I tried to get it fixed, and I couldn't, like you said, it was lead times on this stuff. So I was like, yeah, I can't.
I'm just going to shoot it.
I'm taking my chances. Like, I'm not going to draw back unless it's a deer that I really would like to kill.
Yeah.
We're not just out here shooting hogs like I normally would be, or, whatever. Because I do my due diligence and I'm trying to kill them. I can't stand them. But anyway.
What bow do you have?
I shoot the, I just drew the
You told me it was a Hoyt.
It's a Hoyt, Power Max.
Okay.
It's an older bow. But I've shot it since, and I bought it new, like I said, several years ago. And it's, like I said, it's just.
Well, we're about to order you some strings. What color do you want?
I'm not picky. I'm the least pickiest guy.
Is it a camo bow?
Yeah, it's camo.
Do you like camo strings, or do you like to get crazy in colors?
No, camo's fine.
So Richard, Michael, order this man. You said the Power Max? I haven't heard of that one. So, but I haven't looked into Hoyts a ton.
It's
either,
older. Like I said, it's probably a 7-year-old bow.
Call Mason if you have any more questions. But the Power Max, gas strings. I think it's the, y'all know, I think it's like the Ghost camo. It's the one y'all just ordered for Craig for his bow. I think it's going to be like brown, tan, black, gray, all kind of mixed together. And it's like if you went and got your shirt and just rang it up really tight and stretched it out, that's what it looked like. Just
that's sweet.
Good camo. So
I'm not picky. The one that's on it right now, I think is black and purple.
That
was all they had the last time I went up there, and I was in a bind, and I put it on it.
Yep.
So
order this man a set of strings. Let him know when
Yeah.
it comes in. I'll shoot y'all a text after this episode and let you know too.
That'll work.
But yeah, checking equipment, guys. If you're going to go and you're going to shoot your bows, don't wait and get your bow out of the case.
Yeah, don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy right before season. You can
Yeah.
shoot an old bow. This cat right here is a prime example. Like they can't crack on you. I can't.
No.
There's no need. I wouldn't want to crack. Well, I'll crack on you because we're boys.
Yeah.
But I couldn't reasonably crack on you and make fun of you for shooting an old bow
Right.
and hunting out of the same whatever. You kill more deer on public land than I do. Like,
Right.
and more than most people do that have the biggest, nicest thing.
Right.
And so, like, nobody's cracking on you for that.
Right.
But
Yeah,
but you
and
still need a new
And
string.
I don't care if they do.
Yeah. You'll just fight them and beat them up.
Well, maybe back in the day, but I try not to do that anymore.
But
yeah, no, I'm just not that guy that's got to have the nicest. And then, don't get me wrong, I'd love to, but I guess I got that part from my dad. I'm pretty tight with my money.
I'm gonna tell you something.
When it breaks, I'll get one.
Don't get a new string. Hey, do not order him that string. Let that mother stick a break, son.
Yeah.
Don't shoot one of these new bows.
Well, that's the problem that I do kind of have. Is Tanner and John both, I think, have this one that you have right here, this Matthews, and I've shot them, and I loved it. And I just, man, for the money, I'm just like, my God. So I just bought that new boat, and I want to freaking put, graphs on it and everything else.
Live scope and everything else
I want
on
the
the
live
front.
scope,
Yeah.
and that's a
new
be a
bow or a
conversation
live
for another.
scope?
Yeah, for another. But hunting always trumps fishing for me. I fish to get the deer season. I tell everybody that. I like to fish. I'm good at it. But if I got to choose, I'm going hunting every day of the week, twice on Sundays. It's just not even close. But anyway, yeah, take your equipment and
Get out there and shoot just a little bit.
get out there and shoot. We will. Me and you actually, we need to shoot.
John, does he still shoot much?
Yeah, he's a good shot.
That dude's always been the
aggravates
freaking
me.
goat.
Every time I shoot with him, Drake Wilmore's a really good shot too.
Drake just moved to West Monroe here a little while back. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
My buddy Michael, who I was talking about, they're neighbors now.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They share a backyard. Well, I say
That's crazy.
share, like their backyards.
Right.
But
Those guys, they can outshoot me any day of the week. Dylan Evanson's a good shot too. But I can typically, you put a live target out there, I can compete at least.
you need to come to the TAC with us next year, like Total
I'd
Archer
love to.
Challenge, dude.
Yeah. I'd love to.
That's fun. When you're sitting over there and you're like kind of, and this is like broken bow. I haven't been to any other TAC yet.
Right.
I was gonna go this year and had a baby. Couldn't.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year won't be
Right.
having any more babies.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Son, you got a knife sharp enough. We'll take. I gotta call and make that
Hey,
appointment.
we close. I don't know if we're that close, though.
Dang, son. Look, I'll make us close.
Yeah.
But when you're out there and you're standing on the edge of a mountain in broken bow, and or just like a little hill, and there's rocks and stuff like that, and your footing is not good, and there's a bear target or a caribou or an elk or a deer or whatever it is at 75, 80 yards, 90 yards or whatever. Shoot, even there's some of them that are 40 yards. And you're sitting there and it's like a real life hunting situation. And like it's everything comes into play right there. Like the stuff like your axes on your bow, like your third axis and stuff, people don't even like second, third axis. Most people don't even know about that.
Right.
And Michael and Richard will teach you about it.
Yeah.
But like that comes into play. Like, all right, I feel level and everything's good, but I'm shooting uphill, downhill, or whatever, and now I'm shooting, 12 inches to the left or whatever it is. Like, why am I doing that?
Right.
Well, you need to go get your bow. You need to get it tuned by Michael and Richard, and let them go ahead and get the old level out and get them axes right, and you'll be
Get you dialed in.
back good to go. But it helps. It really does help out a lot, and it's fun. It's so much fun.
I'd love to
So
go.
you need to go.
Like I said, I don't know how good I'd do. I'm not a great target shooter, but
You'll have fun.
I'll practice.
Yep, you'll practice.
Maybe I go buy me a new setup. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe I just need me a new setup. No, I'm just kidding.
it does help. But Levi Morgan,
What is your hunting setup shoot? Do you know?
what on?
Just speed. Do you have any idea?
Speed. So that 33, I'm 268 on the 33, and I'm 281 on the Alpha
Okay.
X. So, but I'm shooting a 435 grain arrow, out of the Matthews lift. I'm sorry, the Phase 4, and then the Hoyt, I'm at 405. I already went light. The RIP TKOs, those Victory arrows, I've been shooting those for years. Absolutely love them. But those, like I said, I'm running 435 total weight on those, and they shoot awesome. Well, with this one, originally I wanted to shoot 65 pounds instead of 70. I was like, I want to be able to hunt in the saddle and be really awkward, like an awkward draw or something.
And be
yeah, like I'm not a big dude. Like
Right.
I can draw 70 pounds, but if I get a little bit lighter, especially hunting out of a saddle, that's what I
lean
want.
around, do
Yeah,
all the-
exactly. Like just really weird, awkward stuff. And so that's what I originally was going to do, was shoot 65. And that bow just shoots so dang good, and it's so smooth, and it draws so easy. I was like, nah, we're putting it, because this one, it does have mods, but not like quite like the Matthews, so it's really adjustable on this from like I think maybe a 26 to a 28.5 or whatever, and the different weights and stuff like that. Like that's the draw length, but like the weights, you can adjust them as well, like let off and stuff like that. We cranked it down to 70, and it shoots. Oh, that's work. We've made it this whole time.
Yeah,
He's on call.
I'm on call.
And so normally I make sure everyone has their phone off. And is that Lil Mama?
No, it is work.
Oh, is it? You can catch that if you need to.
Uh,
Well, look, we've been rolling for like an hour and a half anyways. We can wrap it up.
all right. Yeah, I probably can. Well, I'll call him back in just a second. What I wanted to ask you real quick though, before we wrap it up. So what's your stance on the crossbows?
Well, and you've texted me about that.
Yeah.
I think all again you need to answer. We'll press pause. We'll pick it right
I'll
back.
hold it in my hand.
Yeah,
right?
we'll pick it right back up. So
Okay.
I think they're great. I don't knock on them.
Right.
They're not really for me. Not because it's easy or anything like that. And it is easier. I mean, you're limited. It's a short distance rifle, essentially, is what it is. I mean, dude, those Ravens.
Especially the ones they make now.
Yeah, like those Ravens are shooting. I mean, they have some of them shooting 500. I mean, and realistically, you're going to get 450 out of one. Like you're going to get like the R26 or R10 or something like that. And I think they're like 450-ish, give or take, on speed, maybe to 400 something.
Yeah.
But it's a short distance rifle. It's really, really good if that's what you want to do. If you're good with shooting a crossbow, that's perfect. If you're good with shooting a rifle, that's perfect. If you're good shooting a compound bow, that's perfect. So it's just ultimately whatever you want to do. A lot of people, they hate on crossbow hunters. People throw fits. We were actually, speaking of TAC, we were at TAC last year, and a lady came up wanting to sign. She was from Oklahoma, bow hunters of Oklahoma or something like that. Some nonprofit thing. They're just trying to raise awareness against crossbow, because Oklahoma, I think, they either were about to pass a law that anyone could shoot with a crossbow, or they already passed it and they were trying to get it revoked or whatever. But she went around with a petition trying to get people to sign.
Really?
And
how many people did? A lot of people sign?
I have no idea. I'm sure, like, someone comes up in the middle and just asks you to do something, you're probably just going to do it because you don't want to be a douchebag. You know, you don't want to be rude and just, you're out there. I'm out there trying to shoot and have fun. You know, like I'm not trying to do that. But I told her, I was like, I don't care what people do. If people want to shoot a crossbow, I want them to be able to shoot a crossbow. And so that's kind of where I'm at. I think that's an unpopular decision.
Right.
It's way more fun for me
shooting one of them.
It's way more
close.
fun. Yeah.
But it goes back to which my I guess it would be it's my stepmom's brother. He's killed a lot of deer, a lot of big deer. He told me one time, he said, cause I was telling him, I ain't buying a crossbow. I'm, compound guy. He said, we walked in his house, we was looking at his deer. I mean, he's got these were killed locally, like 170s on the wall, like giants for this area. And 170, I'm not saying multiple, but anyway, he said when you stop worried about shooting them with that, and you just worry about grabbing the bone, you'll buy a crossbow.
Yeah. And
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong,
because I can
sense.
count, like matter of fact, I texted you the other day. I was like, hey, what's the R10s cost down there? I'm getting to where I don't get to go as much, and there was a couple opportunities last year and some really, one of them was a really nice deer. He was 140 plus. That no doubt You know, if I didn't have to make that move, you know, he's dead. You know, it wasn't the distance thing. It was just the movement that come with, you know, having to do this. But
you know, to me, that's,
but that's part of it. You know,
that's what makes it so rewarding. Like
I think that's what I go back to.
Yeah.
And right now I'm telling myself I want one because I got kids, you know.
Yeah.
And it'll be in the closet if I do, you know, if I'm going to hunt in the grass or something that, you know, makes sense to take it that day. Or if you're hunting a really big deer of a lifetime, take that deer, you know, take that one possibly. But I think that, and most of my friends that got them, and everybody that I know that I hunt with has one except for me and John right now. And but everybody, you know, matter of fact, Drake, he purposely put his down this year to make sure he could still kill one with one of these, and he did. He killed a nice buck. I don't know what it scored, but it was probably in the 30s on public land. And I think he said I don't remember how many days in a row or whatever he hunted this deer, but he put in a lot of time with it just to kill it with this one when he could have killed it 3 or 4 different times with the Raven.
Yeah.
But he felt like he could have anyway. I'm not saying that, you know, it would have happened, but
I'm not comparing bow hunting to fighting in the UFC.
mm-hmm.
But I'm watching The Ultimate Fighter right now. Like the new season just came out.
You know, I'll be keeping up with that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And the last episode, the guy, maybe 2 episodes ago, the guy lost. He's an Australian guy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he said there's not another thing in the world that has as high of highs and as low of lows as fighting in the UFC. Like there's absolutely nothing. And he's going on, he's saying it's all about the experience.
Right.
Like getting there is what makes it worth it. And that's kind of how again, I'm not comparing it to the UFC, but it's about the experience to me. Like I want to go and I want to shoot 13 months out of the year practicing, and not just shooting at 20 yards. Like I don't shoot at 80 yards so I can shoot deer at 80 yards. I shoot 80, 90, 100 plus yards.
So when you get at 20
so when I get at 20, 30 yards.
You can do that with your eyes
Yeah,
closed,
and of course
basically.
I say that, and then I liver shot a deer and did a bad shot on a deer a couple years ago, but so don't criticize me too bad.
Shooting at 150-inch deer.
But,
you know,
but it's just about the experience to me. I want to go, I want to shoot, I want to practice, I want to put in the work, and that may change one day. Like one day I may be like right now I'm in your same position. Like I don't have time to do anything. Like there's so much stuff I need to do right now, and I just don't have time to break free for a day or two to go and do it. But
or you'll be like me, you just prioritize deer hunting over everything, and you know the scouting is going to get done. Everything else is going to come.
In last.
Yeah, it's going to come.
Well, so again, it's about the experience. Hey, I'm not going to say that again, but I want to put my time in. I want to shoot. I want to practice. Plus, like I'm a nerd when it comes to the camera gear and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm really a nerd when it comes to archery. Like when it comes to building bows.
You've been that way since we were kids.
Yeah.
You always knew more about that stuff.
And man,
I'm just like, just give me one and let me go.
Dude, Michael and Richard, they've gotten me freaking addicted though. Like it's so much fun now.
You're learning from 2 of the best that probably
really
ever done it.
Going down there and just testing different sights and putting the different stabilizers on the front and saying like, okay, what does this bar feel like with more weight or with less weight?
Mm-hmm.
You know, shooting a sidebar, it adds more weight and it's a little bit kind of intrusive, a little bit in the way, but if I'm shooting at a deer or even a target way out there in high wind, how does it hold? You know, am I good and steady with it? And so just toying and testing and like tinkering. A guy on YouTube, Elk Shape, that's what his thing says. Always be tinkering or something like that, or keep on tinkering or whatever. And it's true. I just love messing with the stuff, but not everybody's like that. Not, you know, some people, they just want to go out there and just freaking kill. And like your uncle, step uncle, uncle, baby daddy, whoever he was, whoever that cat was.
Look, he's probably the best, one of the best I know around.
Yeah, and so like, and that's the thing. If you go and ultimately, not saying this is him, but ultimately, if it boils down to stop caring how you kill it and just putting your hands on the deer. I know that's kind of twisted from what he said. But ultimately, in the end, if you just want to put your hands on the deer, then
that's the way to do it.
Then a crossbow, you're going to be better for the crossbow than our compound most of the time.
Doubt. I think everybody knows that. I'm hard-headed too. You know, like I said, I enjoy climbing them trees and shooting at them as close as I can get them to me. I don't lie. I'm not one of them guys. Oh yeah, 45 steps, money. Okay, get more about 15 steps and. That's where I want them.
I want them as close as I can.
As close as I can get them.
That deer I killed last year, he ran in and 17 yards, and I stopped him and smoked him.
Really?
It was the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
Like
Did you see him fall?
I did not.
No.
I threw up outside the blind.
Did you really? You nurse?
I threw up twice.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know
I don't
that.
remember if it was Corey Barr. I don't think it was Corey. I don't remember who I FaceTimed. I remember I FaceTimed Jacqueline, and I don't know if I already threw up and then I FaceTimed her or whatever. I'm not want to get worked up like that. I'm not freaking throwing up.
Right.
I don't remember if it was Corey or Dakota. I don't remember. It was somebody.
Somebody.
I freaking FaceTimed him. I was like, hold up. And I went, and the very first time I threw up, it was so nasty. But I'm in the stump blind. It's freezing cold. Like, there's freaking ice, you know. It's everything else. Well, the door is like it's frozen. Because
couldn't get out.
I couldn't get out. So I'm holding the door, trying to like turn the latch like this, and I can't. And I knew I had to throw up. Like, I shot the deer. This is exactly what happened. I went, saw the deer coming in from over there. He came in the food plot, 17 steps, and we have a hooking post, just like a, just, you know, a wooden post out there.
Horizontal? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Or vertical. No,
Vertical.
just like, just one, right there.
I've seen both, so I was just curious.
And so he came over there, hooked it, went and started walking away. I'm in a stump blind again. And so I go, and I draw back, and I go, and I shoot him. This is exactly how it happened. I see the deer coming. I see him. I grab that bow. I grab it. My release is already knocked to it. Go, draw back. Boom, just shot him walking. I mean, it was slow enough after he got through hooking it because he was kind of in that middle point of that window like I was talking about earlier, so I just couldn't shoot him through that.
Did you get this on video?
I did not. Didn't even take a camera. I was so busy. You know, like I got this place, like business.
Too much going on.
Yeah, it was just too much going on. I was like, I hate looking at cameras. I look at them all day, every day. Like, I'm not filming this. Like, I'm only going to be up there for 2.5 days. It's terrible weather. No deer been moving. It's an ice storm. I'm just going there just to hunt. Yeah. Try to kill a doe.
Get away.
I'm not filming. I'm taking a break from camera gear. And anyhow, he hooked it, but all within, by the time I saw him to the time I shot him, just a matter of seconds. And I shot him, and I was like, and I dropped, talking about running over it, I dropped that bow on the ground, dropped it hard enough that one of the arrows popped out of the quiver. I dropped the bow, turned around, trying to talk in the mic so they can hear me. Yeah. They probably don't want to hear this. Everybody's already tuned off. They're like, we don't hear you throwing up. And so I couldn't, it was froze. I couldn't get it open. I threw up on my arm right here. It was so disgusting. So I ended up going outside, just trying to breathe, like hyperventilating, you know. And it's still raining, just a little bit of frozen precipitation, like a little mix of stuff. Long story short, I threw up twice. And he didn't run 55, 60 yards. And
well, I've never killed a 164, but if I do, there's a good chance I'll throw up too. So
it was a ride, man. It was again, the first day I got up there Thursday night. My father-in-law didn't even hunt.
Really?
He did not even hunt. And I'm sorry if I told the story. I don't even know if I've told the story on here. I swear this really will be it, and I'll shut up there like, Nolan, we know you well enough. You're not going to shut up. But you're going to have to get your boss to call back again, call you for work. He's going to be faking it. He's going to text his wife in a second and be like, hey, just text me or just call me really quick and just say you're my work.
I don't have signal. I'll call you back in a minute.
Call you back in a minute. But what was I saying?
You was talking about Lamar.
Yeah, he didn't hunt. And so we drove up there. Well, most of it was already frozen by the time we got up there. Well, there's a little bit of a break, so that's why we chose to leave when we did. It's kind of a last minute kind of deal. We slip up there. All the roads and stuff, for the most part, were good until we got pretty close. We had to drive slow getting in. Well, that night, it was supposed to start snowing again and like sleeting, just some pretty rough weather. Well, then it was supposed to be some rain in the morning at like 5:30 or 6 a.m. or something like that. And so I was like, okay, I've got to get on the stand before because at like 7, there's going to be a break in it. But it's only going to be like a 30 to 45 minute break is what AccuWeather said. So it wasn't going to be much.
You're confident there's going to get on?
Well, I got on DeerCast. There's been some times I've looked at it that it is not, it didn't really work out how I thought DeerCast said. This time, DeerCast said it was pour for like the previous 48 hours from 7 to 8 o'clock. It's whatever the top, went through the roof. Like, it was great. So when I saw that too, I told Lamar, I was like, I'm going in the morning. Like, I'm not sleeping in and going out there once everything's over. I'm hitting that window. And at 7 o'clock, almost on the dot, is when the weather stopped. Like, the hard, like frozen rain stopped. And a couple does came into I think 2 or 3 does maybe came into the food plot. That was like a 7:05-ish or something like that. 7:17 is when I checked my phone. I shot that deer.
Really?
We haven't had, I'm talking about no activity for the last 2 days because of the storm and that one little bitty window, and
got up on his feet.
Smashed him.
I believe in all that stuff. If you can catch them at the right time around a storm like that. That's a high percentage scenario, and I try to catch every one of them I can.
It worked good for me. It may not ever do that again, but that was a good time. So it was fun.
That's awesome, dude.
All right, well, we got to get your bow ordered.
Yeah. Yeah. I think tell Michael and Richard order me one.
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all go ahead. Hey, look, actually, I'll tell y'all this. This really will be the last thing, but you want to stay. If you stayed this far, I don't even know how long. It's 7:15. We've been going like hour and 45 minutes.
Wow.
Passes by quick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It goes by so fast.
Quick.
It's like we literally just started.
Yeah.
This bow right here, the Hoyt, not the Matthews, the Hoyt, we are probably going to do a giveaway on that bow this year.
Really?
Through Spotted Dog.
I will sign up.
I don't know what the regulations will be and like how you get entered or anything like that.
Right.
But it is an Alpha X30 Hoyt. It's the Origin Raptor camo. It has the Excel. I don't remember what model it is, but it's an adjustable sight. It mounts to the front of the riser. Has the Ghost sticks. It's as nice as you can buy. It's legit. And Hamsky ARS. But anyhow, we're doing a giveaway on that. I don't know how we're going to do it just yet, but we're going to partner with Hoyt, do a little giveaway on that one. But I'll show you this once we leave so we can get up. But this right here, this Jack Gear.
Yeah, I've been eyeballing
dude.
That. Game changer.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome. I don't like slings on guns. Sure as heck don't like them on bows. That's an exception.
Really?
It's legit. I don't remember the name of it. It's got a funny name. It's like the Jack Gear, like doohickey or something. That's not what it is, but it has a
something different.
Sling-a-ling. That's what it is.
Sling-a-ling.
I knew it was a funny name. Sling-a-ling, and has a little magnet down there you attach to your bow. It goes like a little bolt runs through the riser. It's legit. But
I'll have to check that out.
I'll show you till we leave. So, well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. It's been a blast, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, I got to get your I want to get you and your brothers on. That would be
you get us on here. We'll have it. It may not be your typical podcast, but you will definitely get some views. I guarantee it. There's some. If you want to hear stories,
yeah, I want to do that. I want
get
to
us all three on here, and there will be some stories.
I'm ready
to
for
be told.
Caden to tell his story about him getting like lost at sea down in the Gulf and like going up on like some billionaire island eating steaks with them or whatever it was like that.
Yeah, I forget what that island's called, but you can Google it.
Yeah, it's a real deal.
Yeah, it was a real deal, real story.
So. All right, appreciate you, bro.
All right, man, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you all for sticking with us. We appreciate it. Again, we're at July. If you're anywhere within driving distance, even if you're not flying, it doesn't matter. But bring your bow to Michael and Richard at Spotted Dog Sporting Goods in Columbia. You need to get it worked up. But
you will not be disappointed.
I think like 47% of our listeners and like downloads from the podcast are outside of Louisiana.
Really?
47%. Yep.
Wow.
And so
make the drive up. I promise you will not be disappointed in those guys' work.
You're absolutely not. But if you don't make if you're part of that 47% and you're not making the drive up, go to a reputable pro shop. Let them go ahead. Let them get your bow tuned. Let them get you set up, ready to go. Get some new strings like this gas bow strings. I think it's the old owners of Winter Choice now have gas, but they're incredible. That's what I'm on all my bows, and they last. They're incredible. So, but go get your bow, shoot it, get it fixed up, tuned up.
Get ready to
roll.
After 'em.
October's gonna be here before we know it, dude.
September
for me.
They actually have a early season velvet this year in Arkansas, and I'm eyeballing it. So
September typically is for me. In Kansas, I think this year it opens up like September 11th, and I know I'll probably end up being back up there. I am every year, but oh, it's so hot up there.
Yeah,
it's so freaking hot, and
it's just something about getting to go at least.
Yeah.
You sleep better at night knowing it's deer season. So.
All right, we better sleep. If we both want to sleep tonight, we better get out of here.
Yeah, that's right.
All right,
guys.
Thank y'all so much. SpottedDogSportingGoods.com for all of your archery needs, sporting goods, fishing, all your stuff. Go check them out. Free shipping on all orders over $99. So that's all I got, I promise.
All right, man.
All right, let's break all this stuff down. Let's get you home.
That's right.
We got to go drive the Tesla.
Yeah. Go drive the Tesla.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, thank you. That's pretty cool.
Dude, isn't it fun?
Yeah. I'm telling you.